So I'm having a late breakfast and got a huge pulse burning sensation on the left side of my chest and back. And there the temperature just increased 23.5. And here's the RF reading 3.9. So it went up way higher than that with the pulse. I just didn't catch. So PK and his friends in the building are experimenting. So I could be forgiven when I suggest that the pandemic is also an experiment. There are Chinese connections to it. And as President Trump keeps saying, uh, it's it originated from China. That's all he was saying. Well, this experiment is originating from PK and the Chinese traffickers. So when I'm finished, I'm going to take my blood pressure reading. And you notice that the temperature increased as well. So my body temperature should be higher than normal. And so should my blood pressure as well. There are comments outside the window. She's not allowed to eat. So I heard the Black people have it. Rick have it. Rick's aunt have it. So there's a Black family that lives around the corner of the building with the window open shouting. And these are the things that they're shouting. So my unit is being opened up. And this family who has a contract or is subcontracting is looking at me live. And when I start to eat, they turn up the power and make comments like you're not allowed to eat. I'm gonna put my hand on. Notice the electrical readings go up. Take my hand away. Put my hand back on. Take the hand away. I'm a target. But it would seem that the entire world right now is being treated like targets. Put my hand on. Put the hand back on. Notice the EF reading there. Take the hand away. Put the hand back on. Take the hand away. Put the hand back on. So the power is being turned up all night, last night, as soon as I went to bed. And as soon as I woke up, my thighs were pulsed. My feet were being pulsed as I walked. So the comment outside the window is we are using some new equipment on her. Well, what sort of drugs is being used on the population right now? So the traffickers in the building are using new technology. But right now, the world is having new drugs being used on them. So right now, we are all targets. We are all isolated. We are all being, in a sense, experimented with because vaccines are experimenting. The vaccine companies are experimenting with us, trying to find a new vaccine. So, and the chances are that the virus is also an experiment. I suspect SARS was also an experiment. And just like I'm being bamboozled And there is a team of people coming together, um, conspiring to bamboozle me. In much the same way, there are teams of people who are getting together and conspiring to bamboozle the world. You hear all kinds of mentioning of the elite and all these things, but these are just words. The fact is, just like somebody's trying to take me over, and it's a power grab, really, and it's a grab for my assets and a grab for my power and the ability to traffic me and have control over me and enslave me. It's exactly what's going on right now. It's a power grab. The government is going to give you free money. You stay home and we're going to give you free money. Take away your means of living and your self esteem that goes with that. That's a way of degrading you. So I was reading that up to 30,000 people die, and this is the CDC. So I don't remember what region this number is being pulled from. I'd imagine it's the States. 30,000 people die, up to 30,000 people die with the common flu. And when you get a cold, you normally stay home and isolate anyways. So I understand if you're sick and you isolate, but to shut down every single thing in the community when only a very, very, very small percentage of people are dying and most people are recovering. And the people who are dying have underlying health issues. And this is normal for any disease. It's normal to have bacteria and virus infections go through populations. And of course, the people with the weaker immune system, it could be young or old, it really doesn't matter, die off. This is natural. This is a natural occurrence. So why are we making it to be out to be such a unusual thing? It's not unusual. Now the virus may or may not be man-made. And there may or may not be a conspiracy behind how it got into the system, into the population. But from the observation, not a whole lot of people are dying from it. So why shut down the entire economy? I think a lot of people should sit down and think about this and look at what's going on behind the scenes and what's being rolled out as a result of the shutdown, and ask some questions of your politicians and your leaders. It doesn't have to be a global, a unified reaction to these issues. And people should be wondering if there are relationships to other factors, such as 5G. In other words, don't take the propaganda that's being fed, and some of it is propaganda. Take the hand away there. And ask some questions, because the scientists, and yes, they are scientists and doctors and so on, don't always have the answers. There is a science behind it, yes, but science is not the only source of answers. I'm not being a rebel, I'm being open-minded about this. And by all means, isolate. Do as you're told. Do as you're told, or else you will be charged. They will come to your door and pull you out. That's where it's headed.